Hello, everyone, and thanks for attending today's session on building a self-service distributed cloud with Yellowbrick and Denodo. My name is Lorenzo Danesi, and I'm a systems engineer at Yellowbrick. I've been in the data warehousing space working with MPP technology for more than 20 years, and I'm really excited to work at Yellowbrick because I truly believe it's a game changer in data warehousing. My role at Yellowbrick involves a few things, including supporting account executives for existing and new business, plus doing proof of concepts. I'm excited to be working with Denodo and having Denodo as a Yellowbrick partner supporting the Yellowbrick distributed cloud. Hi, Santosh. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do at Denodo.
Thanks, Lorenzo. My name is Santosh Murthy. I'm a partner channel sales engineer working with our technology and system integrator partners. This is Paige, by the way. She's a Schnauzer Doodle. And I've been working in data integration, data management for the last 20 years. I'm excited to join Denodo about 6 months ago with data virtualization really being on the forefront of enabling cloud and hybrid cloud technologies. This has been an exciting time to partner with Yellowbricks on this summit, and I'm excited to be here.
Okay, let's begin and dive into the session. So in today's world, data is growing and becoming more and more diverse, especially when you consider IoT and the data that is constantly being generated. Financial services require more history data to make accurate decisions in real time and stay within legal data retention periods. Telecom now with 5G connectivity can generate massive amounts of data. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There is now a critical need for lightning-fast data analytics solutions that can support initial processing at the edge, real-time streaming data with large volumes of rapidly changing data, and complex interactive analytics in centralized private and/or public cloud environments. Those solutions also need to be flexible to meet any need and complement any IT approach without a massive investment in technology or new skill sets. Current options are too limited for those tasks. For example, NoSQL options like Cassandra and HBase aren't designed for real-time analytics at scale. Cloud-only options like Snowflake have poor and unpredictable price performance and poor latency. And data lakes have proven to be useful only as low-cost data stores. For most companies, those limits make real-time analytics at scale a pipe dream. Yellowbrick Data Warehouse removes the limitations of legacy and cloud-only alternatives. Yellowbrick is the new modern data warehouse designed for a new era of analytics. Yellowbrick is built from the ground up to take advantage of highly optimized instances which can query data sets with billions and even trillions of rows with amazing speed. It is designed to take a load and go approach. And what I mean by that is you can load data and start querying without worrying about creating index or statistics. It's done all automatically. Yellowbrick offers the best price performance for real-time workloads available at scale while offering the choice to deploy data warehouses in data centers, private clouds, a SaaS model in public clouds, or both as a hybrid deployment, along with near real-time replication across all those instances. This is the Yellowbrick distributed cloud. And as I said, Yellowbrick delivers the data warehouse for distributed cloud, a product for all people wherever they may happen to be. And here's how Yellowbrick does it. The latest generation of Yellowbrick instance is called Andromeda, which is designed and developed to be self-managing. It's incredibly simple to use compared to other data warehouses. Often, customers just allocate a quarter FTE for DBA tasks for Yellowbrick. And things like indexes and statistics gathering and vacuuming aren't required with Yellowbrick. This concept applies to every part of the Yellowbrick's distributed cloud. On the private cloud, it can also be deployed on Kubernetes stacks. And on the private clouds, it can be deployed as a service with private link connections to AWS and Azure, and Google's private connection is coming soon. We also deploy on the public cloud Kubernetes stack. which can also be self-managed or as a SaaS model. And finally, at the edge, where you have the option of the Andromeda instance on laptops, PCs, or specialized edge hardware that support the modern Yellowbrick Andromeda platform. And on the cloud provider's edge infrastructure also, such as AWS wavelengths. And now I'll pass it over to Santosh to talk a little bit about Denodo.
Denodo is essentially the middle layer in between the data consumers, whether you're using a BI tool, a data science tool, or our self-service data catalog, and the data sources. Yellowbrick Data Warehouse is one of the many sources that Denodo supports. We provide an abstraction capability to reduce the complexity of physically moving more data around. We provide a simple abstraction layer so we act and feel just like a database without actually physically storing or moving data. We provide real-time access to the data for the various data consumers so that they get data in real time without having to wait for data to be physically persisted across multiple environments. As part of the data virtualization platform, we provide enterprise-ready capabilities such as data security, column row-based masking, column level security, and we can integrate with your existing entitlement systems. It can be deployed in the cloud, on-premise, or hybrid, which is most commonly being used today.
Thank you, Santosh. The next question is, how do you manage all of this? Well, Yellowbrick Manager will maintain all of the instances within the distributed cloud. You can view the instances and see all of the details, including storage utilization, capacity, and health. You can also view all of the databases within an instance and drill down to the details and easily load Yellowbrick tables from S3 and more. While Yellowbrick Manager helps you manage your instances, Denodo is the umbrella that allows you to combine data from the various instances in the most efficient manner. One important thing to note is that you are as fast as your slowest part. And what I mean by that is you must be aware of the data that you're working with. So moving data across networks can be slow. You want to be mindful if joining data between two or more data sources, how that data will move and how much data will be traveling across the network. For example, you don't want to join a billion rows from one instance to a billion rows to another instance. There are various techniques and features you can take advantage of to maximize the performance, such as filtering data at the source and replication. So that takes us to the demo, where I will demonstrate how Denodo and Yellowbrick work together to combine distributed data in the distributed cloud. Denodo is running on a Windows AWS EC2 instance, which will orchestrate joining the data in the Yellowbrick distributed cloud. Then I will use the Denodo ODBC driver to connect Denodo environment to Power BI to graphically visualize the virtual views in Denodo from Yellowbrick tables that contain billions of rows, all in real time. So this is the Denodo Web Design Studio interface, which I will be using today to create data sources, base views, and derives views. And after I log in and select the Summit Virtual View, the first step is to define your data sources. I predefined 3 data sources that are in the Yellowbrick distributed cloud. So the YB Edge is a Yellowbrick Edge instance that contains sales data generated by point of sale systems. YB Private is a private cloud instance that contains sensitive customer data. And YB Cloud is a Yellowbrick cloud instance that contains data that is not sensitive, such as US states information. So Denodo's job will be to orchestrate combining the data from these Yellowbrick cloud instances. So the data sources are defined using JDBC. Yellowbrick is supported right out of the box. So you enter the Yellowbrick JDBC connection string, username and password, and you're good to go. And if I switch over to the read and write tab, you can specify the Yellowbrick bulk loader called YB load that can load data at wire speed. YB load can load data into Yellowbrick tables as fast as it can be provided. Denodo will use it when it needs to transfer large volumes of data between instances. The next step is to define the base views, which store only metadata of the Yellowbrick table or view. The data stays where it lives. So I can travel through the tree view here, and I can see the tables and the views that I can choose for my base views. So I've already created one called store sales here. I've defined it, and then as you can see all of the column information. I can query the base views via Denodo virtual query language. VQL is very similar to SQL, and it's actually based on Postgres, like Yellowbrick is also. So it's easy to query the base view in the VQL tab. So here I'll just do a count. Just select my virtual database, and I'll just drag the store sales table in here, or view, and I can execute this. And you can see the power or the performance of Yellowbrick coming through here. It scanned the store sales table to return a result set of almost 3 billion rows. And I can also do that with another one of the views. So I'll take a look at the customer view. And that table is in another Yellowbrick instance, and that one contains 12 million rows. So the next step, or the final step, is to combine the data that the base views are pointing to. So I have pre-built a derived view called store sales. So I can double click on this, and you can see all of the columns within this view here. And I can also look at the different columns. And from there, I can also look at a derived view here. So if I look at the derived view, these are the columns that are created from that view. So I have the sum of the sales price, the quantity by month, year, and state. And I can also see through the tree view where that data or how that view is being orchestrated. So the sales view by state does a group by and joins to the sales table and the date table located on the YB edge instance. And the customer information is coming from the YB private instance, and the state's information is coming from the YB cloud. So from there, I can go to the execution panel, and I can do a sample of that view. So that returned the combination, or Denodo orchestrated that execution and returned the sum of the sales price and quantity by month, year, and state. Now let's visualize this using Power BI. Denodo Power BI Custom Connector is an ODBC-based connector that can connect to and access the Denodo platform to create dashboards and reports. I have pre-built a report based on the view that we just saw. While I'm bringing that up, I can switch over to the Yellowbrick System Management Console. So the Yellowbrick System Management Console allows you to look at the health of the system and resources. And you can also look at the database and manage them from here. But you can also monitor the current and the past queries. So if I just click on the active queries here, I can see that 17 seconds ago, a query was executed. And I can see that that actually came from the Denodo platform. And this is the SQL that was sent to Yellowbrick. And in summary, I can see that that query scanned almost 3 billion rows of the store sales table. It actually scanned almost 2 million rows of the customer information and 1 million rows of the date dimension table. I can also look at the plan that Yellowbrick puts together to execute that query. And if I look at the statistics, I can see resource utilization and also timings. And I can see that this query took roughly 2 seconds. So if you think about it, it returned a result set in 2 seconds for 3 billion rows. So that's actually sub-second per billion rows. So if I switch back over to the Power BI, you can see that it has plotted the results on the map. And I can hover over the map and see the details of each state. And I can also filter the data by month, name, and year. So if you look at this amount for Washington, the last 3 digits are 287. So I can filter on that year. And I can pick the years that I want to filter on. And if I switch back over to the System Management Console, I can see that query came directly to Yellowbrick, and that took 1.5 seconds here. And this is the query that actually sent the filtering of that query. So, and if I hover back over the Washington, you can see that the value has changed. So you can also look at the results in different graphs, whether it's a pie graph or a bar chart. So that's pretty amazing, the speed that Yellowbrick executes sub-second response time per billion rows. Now, the way that I built this report was through the Get Data feature of Power BI. So if I click on that, I can enter the Denodo ODBC driver. I can select it, enter the DSN name, click Direct Query so that every click of the mouse sends a SQL statement to the instance. So I'm getting real-time results. And here I connected to the Denodo platform where I can see all of my views that I created. And from here, I can create my report. So that concludes the demo for today. And some of the key takeaways from today's session is that Yellowbrick can be deployed anywhere and can query data sets with billions of rows with amazing speed. No other data warehouse can match Yellowbrick's price performance. And Denodo has the advanced engine that can optimize and orchestrate execution across data sources, including every facet of the Yellowbrick distributed cloud. And that the combination of Yellowbrick and Denodo will help your business be more efficient and accomplish things that you couldn't do before, such as executing ad hoc queries over large volumes of data in distributed and hybrid cloud environments, all in real time. Thank you again for attending, and I hope you enjoyed the session.